everybody. Hi there. I'm Kermit the Frog, and we're almost ready.
In 1989, Michael Eisner and Jim Henson were negotiating a deal for Disney to acquire the rights to use the Muppets. As part of its acquisition, Hollywood Studios, then known as MGM Studios, was to receive a Muppet-themed expansion to its park that never came to be. This is the Distory of The Muppets at Walt Disney World. As the negotiations between Disney and Jim Henson continued, plans were made to add the Muppets to MGM Studios in their own land called Muppet Studios. Whilst the land was in development, guests could see the show Here Come the Muppets at Animation Courtyard between 1990 and 1992. The show featured larger-than-life versions of the Muppets putting on a show, but everyone except Kermit is late. Meanwhile, on the other side of the park near the streets of America, the Muppet Studios was being planned. In the land, guests could visit the Swedish chef's cooking school to witness the Swedish chef battling against the talking ingredients. Guests would also dine at the Great Gonzo's Pizza Pandemonium Parlor, where rat animatronics would travel through the rafters of the restaurant to deliver the food. The major e-ticket of the land was the Great Muppet Movie. According to Jim Henson, it would have been an attraction taking you behind the scenes of movies, but everything would be wrong. The ride would feature the Muppets trying to recreate several iconic movies, including Frankenstein, who would be played by an electrocuted Fozzie Bear, and Peter Pan, where Kermit and Miss Piggy, as Peter Pan and Tinkerbell, attempt to fly. However, when Jim Henson died in 1991, negotiations between Disney and the Henson Studios broke down, and the Muppet Studios was cancelled. Despite this, one attraction planned for this project had been mostly completed, Muppet Vision 3D. The project was allowed to be completed, marking it the last Muppet production for Jim Henson to work on. In the show, Kermit attempts to take the guests on a tour of Muppet Vision 3D, but Bunsen & Beaker's 3D experiment Waldo causes several issues. Muppet Vision 3D opened in 1992 as part of an expansion to the streets of America. Outside of Muppet Vision 3D is a fountain of Miss Piggy as Lady Liberty, whilst the exit to Muppet Vision 3D leads to the brightly painted Studio One store. The buildings for the other planned Muppet offerings were repurposed. The Great Gonzo's Pizza Pandemonium Parlor became Mamma Melrose's Ristorante Italiano, whilst the Swedish chef's cooking school eventually became Pizza Planet in 1995. After Disney managed to acquire the rights to the Muppets in 2004, the characters have slowly begun to be integrated into the Disney parks. In 2016, Pizza Planet was closed and replaced with Pizza Rizzo, a Muppet-themed quick-service restaurant that serves pizza. Not only did it finally add a Muppet-themed eatery to Hollywood Studios, but the restaurant also features a wedding reception room guests can eat in, as well as several Muppet Easter eggs. Meanwhile, at Magic Kingdom, The Muppets Presents Great Moments in American History debuted in Liberty Square in 2016. The show lasted until 2019 and featured Sam Eagle, Kermit, Miss Piggy, Fozzie Bear, and Gonzo, retelling either the story of the Declaration of Independence or the Midnight Ride of Paul Revere. Whilst the show officially closed in 2019, it returned seasonally until 2020. Finally, in February 2020, the Regal Smokehouse opened at Epcot's American Adventure Pavilion, replacing Liberty Inn. The barbecue restaurant is loosely themed to the Muppets, as Sam Eagle is the mascot of the quick service. Inside, Sam is judging Sam's Centennial Cook-Off, a salute to all cook-offs, but mostly barbecue, with Bobo the Bear, Janice, Ralph, and Gonzo competing in the competition. Whilst the plans for Muppet Studios expansion would have greatly added to the offerings available at Hollywood Studios, we are fortunate that Muppet Vision was completed to become a lasting legacy of Jim Henson's work. Whilst the latest Muppet offerings to the parks have been slightly lackluster, Disney is continuing to utilise the Muppets, and hopefully they will receive a ride they deserve. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe, and leave a comment down below on what you want to see next on the Distory channel.